Personal training is an occupation that I think a lot of individuals get into because they have this passion of fitness and they want to, help others because of the way, it makes them feel exercising and being a part of that journey. And there's nothing wrong with that, but I think if that is your, major motive to get into personal training, that may not really hold for a long period of time, because the downside of personal training is that, it's really customer service based. You really need to know what you're doing. Most trainers, even myself in the beginning, we can have an education and certification, and sure, we've trained ourselves for numerous amount of years, but when you're working with others, it's a whole different game. And a lot of the stuff that we personally do don't necessarily transition over to them, and it's difficult. It's difficult being a trainer. Overall, I would say I've had probably a lot more difficult experiences being a trainer, trying to figure out exactly, how do I help this individual get through some very trying times. And a majority of those people that are coming into personal training think a majority of it is, program design and exercise selection and, being a cheerleader. And yes, there's a bit of that, but these days, a lot of it is based upon motivation and behavioral change. And a lot of those certifications out there do not equip you for that. Most individuals have to go to college and get that higher education and a degree in psychology or behavioral modifications. So, it's something that you definitely learn as you go on, but it's not something you start off knowing. Now, there are some people that are just naturally in tune with that, and to be able to listen to people and see their needs and be able to address it appropriately. But most trainers don't come into it with that kind of mindset. It's what kind of workout can I create today that'll just crush my client, or work them super, super hard so they feel like they've got their value for their money. And again, there's some value to that, but overall though, that's not what's going to get people to where they need to be. So, with new trainers, you're coming into it, understand a lot of it is being a shoulder to cry on, metaphorically, sometimes literally. These people need help. And not only through the exercise portion of it and dietetics, and that in itself, it's its own little monster, but there's a lot of work, and especially in the beginning, you're trying to figure it out and asking yourselves like, well, why isn't this working? It's worked for me, or this is what the textbook said, or, that person I idolized on social media, he said this was going to be it. So no, real world application definitely has that X factor thrown into it. But, new trainers, they all figure it out. If they don't, then they move on. So, and that's okay too. You got to find what's your calling and what really makes worthwhile, So, just a little bit of a random thought today as I'm walking. And, let me know what you think. Put a comment down there in the section. And, thanks for watching.